What is up, you guys? Dr. William Mash here bringing you some Crystalline. This is another visual novel that I actually have heard quite a bit about, and I'm excited to play it, so let's get started. The library is far more quiet than I would have expected at this time of the night. The only sound is the gentle hum of the air conditioner. Whoa, that was too close. I blink. Oops. I blink my eyes wide open. Then I stifle a yawn as I stretch to wake myself up. Focus. Finals are just around the corner, so I can't afford to slack off. Glancing around me, I notice that I'm the only person left in the study cubicles. It is getting pretty late. I'll go back to the dorms as soon as I finish this last chapter. I flip through the book. Only a few more pages to go. I can do this. Stealing my resolve, I refocus on my textbook. The words on the book blur together as my eyelids grow heavy. I fight to keep my eyes open, but my lids continue to droop. I'll just rest them for a second. Something jerks me awake and my eyes blink open. A bright light illuminates the room, blinding me until all I can see is a stark whiteness. I throw my arms over my eyes to shield it from the light. After a few seconds pass, the light seems to dim, but it doesn't feel like the same fluorescent glow of the library bulbs. Carefully, I unwind and bring my arms down, squinting at a pale blue sky. A mild breeze tousles my hair. Blades of grass tickle my neck as they wave in the wind. Where am I? I'm about to push myself up off the ground when something pops into view. A round blue blob with two dark eyes blinks at me.
Poi?
It bobs slightly like pudding. When it notices my stare, it opens its small mouth and takes a dainty bite of my nose. That should be good. Hey! The creature's bite doesn't sting, but feels like a cool splash of water. Before it can take another, I scramble to my feet. The creature tumbles off of my head and falls to the ground. Once it lands, it shakes itself off with a gelatinous tremble, clearly unfazed. It hops onto my foot and opens its mouth again, but I quickly shake it off. It rolls off my foot and into the dirt, then rights itself again.
Poi.
It pouts and continues to watch me, but doesn't attempt another bite. What is that thing?
Poi?
It cocks its head as if wondering the same thing about me. That's unsettling. I take in the scattering of the trees around me. Their tall branches kiss the sky. There's a winding dirt trail which weaves through the trees as I follow it with my gaze. I see smoke billowing out of the thatched roofs of a village in the far distance. Where am I? The last thing I remember is studying at the library. That's it. I must have fallen asleep and I am now dreaming.
Poi?
I glance down at the blue creature. What? At my response, it leaps up.
Poi!
Whoa! I scramble away from it and it lands back on the ground with a soft thud. That thing can jump pretty high. I need to be careful. What's your deal? It leaps again and I again retreat. Stop that! I dodge as it jumps, then I begin to run. To my surprise, the blob keeps pace with me. with a series of nimble bounces.
Boy!
Seriously, stay back! It musters up one long leap, and I turn around the corner of a sturdy tree to avoid it. I don't notice the other person until it's too late. Oof. We painfully collide, and I lose my balance before toppling over. Fortunately, my hands catch myself, protecting my fall. When I open my eyes, I see a woman. Her eyes are scrunched shut, and her mouth is twisted in a grimace. Her long blonde hair is splayed out around her. As she lets out a small groan, she blinks open her eyes and fixes her gaze on me. As I met her gaze, my face flushes and I push myself to my feet. I'm so sorry. Are you hurt? I extend a hand. She hesitantly accepts it, and I help her up.
Just a little sore, but otherwise I'm fine. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry again. I should have paid more attention to where I was going.
It's partially my fault. I was distracted.
Boy?
The creature is right by my foot again. Are you serious? You're still here? The woman looks surprised.
A pongo!
Pongo? Jeez, all that Pokemon last night is making me see things.
Poke-a-man?
Boy?
The Pongo bobs up and down by my foot and nudges me with its head.
Aw, he's a cute one!
He?
Yeah, you can tell by the shape of his eyes.
Oh.
I think he wants you to hold him.
How can you tell?
He's not being subtle about it.
Boy!
Okay. I bend down and he bounces into my palm. He feels cool to the touch and surprisingly solid for being kind of gelatinous.
Boy!
He chirps happily as he rolls over in my palm. Whoa! The woman leans in and uses a finger to gently tickle the Pongo. He chirps again and shivers.
Aw, his laugh is so adorable.
She continues to tickle him and he rolls over from laughing.
Oops.
She stops tickling him and pets him on the head instead. He snuggles against her hand and sighs contently.
Boy!
Using her other hand, she raises her gauntlet and seems to offer it to the Pongo. The Pongo stares at it, then turns his head away and hops onto my shoulder before nestling against me.
Boy!
A pongo who refuses magic energy? Wait a minute. Are you a mage?
That's not a real occupation.
Of magic?
Huh? No, a full-time post-secondary student. She seems confused.
You keep saying such strange things.
She holds up her hand. She holds up her gauntlet and a faint pale light glows. It pulses rhythmically as she holds it closer to me. It quickens until the pulses almost look like one long pulse. She blinks in surprise.
Wait, this heightened energy activity, it's you?
She analyzes the magic swirling thing on her gauntlet.
I don't see a discharger on you. So then, how is it possible for you to have such a high magical energy reading?
Beats
Are
the
you
hell out of
carrying
me.
crystals?
Not that I know of. She looked me over again.
Never mind. It doesn't look like you're carrying crystals. Or anything for that matter.
I don't know what's going on right now. I was in the library studying for finals and somehow I woke up here.
So, are you from the Mage Academy?
Okay, I think I've dozed off long enough. Time to wake up now. She blinks in confusion.
You are awake.
No, this is a dream. She frowns.
I can assure you this is not a dream.
I'm doing it. Only a dream could have a woman as beautiful as you. A devilish grin spreads across her face. She pulls her hand back and strikes me soundly on the arm. Ow!
Still think this is a dream?
Maybe. I'm less sure about it than before. She punches me again in the same spot.
How about now?
Never. She winds her arm back. Alright. It's not a dream. Just don't hit me again. She gloats.
I knew you'd eventually come to your senses.
So, if this place isn't a dream, then where are we?
We're in Meadow Hill.
Meadow Hill? Where's that?
It's a part of the Kingdom of Havengard, of course.
Havengard? She looks at me like I'm crazy.
It's the largest of the three kingdoms. Actually, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from New York.
New York?
Yeah, you know, part of the USA.
USA. USA?
No, the United States of America.
The United States of what? Never mind that for now. If you don't have any crystals, and you don't have a discharger, have you casted recently?
I shake my head.
Then the amount of energy reading doesn't add up.
She rests her chin in her hand as she thinks. A shiver runs through me as reality begins to set in. This really isn't a dream. Any ideas? She shakes her head.
Maybe the Mage Academy can provide answers.
Mage Academy? That's a start. Sounds good to me. How do I get there?
Oh, it's in the center of Illumia.
Where?
Illumia. You follow the path going north until you arrive at the crossroads. Then you head...
Her voice trails off as she notices my expression.
I'm actually heading back there now. You can come along if you want.
As I contemplate her offer, I look her over again. Can I trust her? Her posture is naturally straight and gives her an air of authority. She did mention she was out here on some sort of official investigation. Plus, she seems friendly enough. Besides, if I don't go with her, then I'll be wandering around on my own. The chances of me finding this Mage Academy alone without running into any unsavory people are not promising. I can't risk that. I need to find a way back home. I nod. Thanks. I'm William Spade, by the way.
I'm Leanna. Leanna Dawn.
Nice to meet you. I hold out my hand for her to shake, but she just stares at it. After keeping my hand out for a few seconds, I begin to feel awkward. Her expression changes to curiosity as she gingerly takes my hand. I grin broadly as I shake her hand firmly. She's a bit startled, but when our gaze meets, she matches my smile.
It's nice to meet you too.
I look at her questioningly as she continues to shake my hand. She slips her hand away and blushes.
Shall we get going then?
Ready when you are. Leanna nods and brings us back onto the path. Then she walks in the direction of the village. The Pongo follows us, staying a step behind. We travel for quite some time together. It's been pretty silent. I wonder if I should say something. So, not that I'm complaining, but what exactly were you doing out in the field?
The field?
Where you found me?
Oh, there have been rumors of high energy readings around Meadow Hill, so I was sent to investigate. I had already checked out the surrounding area, and there'd been no clear source for all that excess energy until today.
When you met me? She nods. I hadn't been in the field for very long before you found me, though.
You might be a byproduct of whatever created the energy spike in the first place.
Sorry about that, had to grab something. What do you think that was?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen readings of that level before. The Mage Academy should be able to help explain.
I wonder what it takes to become a mage. So, besides magic, what else does the Mage Academy teach?
Oh, all the basics. How to use a manipulator, how to control your energy, the many usages and differences between crystals and spheres.
Got it. I nod. This place is kind of funky and weird, but doesn't seem too fundamentally different from back home. I think I'm starting to understand how things work. The conversation lulls to a close. I can tell by what she said, that's a manipulator, and that's how they use their magic. That's how they're capable of it. I understand what the Pongo is, so I don't have anything pressing to say. I listen for the sounds of wildlife as we continue walking. I can hear the usual song of birds and the faint whoosh of wings flapping in the air. Occasionally, there's a rustle amid the trees, and I even swat at the bugs buzzing around my eyes. It all feels very familiar, reminding me of home. Leanna clears her throat.
So, you're from USA?
USA. But, yeah.
Which kingdom is that in?
How should I phrase this? In the kingdom of North America? She frowns and scratches her neck.
I'm a little ashamed to say I'm not familiar with that place. Where is it?
On Earth?
Earth?
Okay. Time to take a different approach. Let me see if I can explain. Alright. Tell me, where are we right now?
In Meadow Hill.
And where is that?
In the kingdom of Havengard.
And where is Havengard?
In the land of Asaria.
And what is that a part of?
Terra, of course.
Okay, so Terra is my Earth. She pauses as my words sink in. Then she gasps.
Wait, are you not from Terra?
From what I've heard so far, I'm not. She looks concerned.
How did you get here?
That's what I'm hoping the Mage Academy can tell me.
Right, but I mean, how did you come to Meadow Hill specifically? Do you remember anything before you were in the field?
I think back. I was studying in the library and I'd been extra tired because that's the same day I have my evening class. Have hiccups again. And I still remember everything about me in my past. Plus, I had to sneeze. Yeah?
Well, at least we know you don't have amnesia.
I nod. She lapses back into silence, looking thoughtful. I have a lot to think about myself. My head is swimming with everything I've learned so far. Although there are some similarities between Terra and Earth, I have only scratched the surface on all the differences. I really hope the Mage Academy can help explain what is going on, and more importantly, how I can get back home.
Boy.
You said it. I look back and see the Pongo's face planted on the ground. Pongo, what happened? It rolls back upright and looks away.
Boy.
Leanna grins.
Were you trying to eat and hop at the same time?
Boy.
Is that embarrassment I sense? Leanna can't hold back her giggles any longer, and her laughter makes me chuckle.
Boy.
The Pongo huffs and pouts.
I'm sorry. We weren't laughing at you.
Boy.
We were laughing with you. Although I don't think he was laughing about that. As the Pongo shakes the dirt off of himself, Leanna and I resume walking. The sun dips in the sky and bathes the tips of the trees in a soft glow. My feet ache in protest with each step I take, and my legs are tight from all the walking. Oh, that's a nice scenery. Finally, we came upon the perimeter of the village. Leanna grins as she leads me through the gates.
Here we are, Meadow Hill Village.
I take the time to catch my breath and discreetly rest my burning muscles. Leanna hardly seems affected by that long trek. We're finally here. I pull my arms into a stretch. Phew, that was quite the journey. Leanna masks a chuckle.
A journey?
I nod. This time she can't quite hold back her laughter.
Let's continue. We can rest at the inn tonight.
As she resumes walking, I ignore my screaming legs and follow her. The village is still bustling with people, even at this time of day. I suppose they're getting in their last errands before nightfall. For the most part, everyone seems to focus on their own tasks. They barely glance at Leanna, but when their gazes are drawn to me, they don't look away. In fact, their steps slow and they crane their necks as we pass. Now I know how an animal feels at a zoo. Leanna overhears my muttering and watches the people around us.
It's your clothes. They're very peculiar.
What I'm wearing is normal where I'm from. Even though the stares are directed at me, Leanna seems equally uncomfortable.
Okay, new plan. Let's stop by the shops before they close. We don't need to draw attention to ourselves.
Agreed. I instinctively pat my back pocket where I keep my wallet. I doubt they'll accept card here. Or dollars. I don't have any money.
That's okay. I'll take care of it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
It's understandable given your circumstances.
I'll pay you back once I can. Leanna smiles and nods. Leanna changes directions and leads me toward an adjacent street. There are rows of quaint shops lining both sides of the road. I read the signs as we walk by. Edward's Apothecary, Blackstone Forge, Dragon Scale Armory. Huh?
What is it?
I was just thinking how convenient it is. Everything's in English here.
English?
I should have expected the question based on how our previous conversations have gone, but I'm still a little taken back. That's what we're speaking now.
we're speaking common.
Huh? Leanna pauses in front of a shop and peers inside. Satisfied, she motions for me to follow.
Never mind. Come on in. We're here.
Yay. I step into the shop, and the first thing I notice is the overpoweringly musty smell of leather. It's not surprising considering the walls are lined with different types of leatherware. A small, elderly man emerges from the back. A pair of round glasses sits on his nose, as an apron hangs around his neck.
Welcome. Please, take a look around.
His smile falters when he notices me. Leanna clears her throat.
We're looking for a new wardrobe for my friend here.
Yes, of course.
What's that supposed to mean? The shopkeeper blinks back to reality and resumes his pitch.
Well, you've come to the right place. We tan our hides and stitch the pieces ourselves. You won't find any finer quality than here.
Leanna smiles politely and strolls toward the selections. I check out two seemingly identical leather vests, both of which are marked at different prices. I really can't see a difference between the two. Maybe they boost different stats? Hey, Leanna. She turns around. Which one of these will increase my dexterity?
I suppose leather armor will allow for greater range of motion while still providing decent protection.
That's the benefit of the armor type. I mean, dexterity. She blinks. So none of these raise any stats? Leanna gives me a weird look.
Do your clothes where you come from raise stats?
Only if you consider cool points to be a stat. She looks just as confused as before. Figures. Never mind. She smiles as we continue perusing. One by one, Leanna and I pick out my new outfit. Once all the pieces have been chosen, she goes to haggle with the shopkeeper. I tune out of their discussion and watch the people passing by. Their clothing are simple in design, meant to be more functional than aesthetic. To my surprise, everybody walks around armed. This village doesn't seem dangerous, but looks can be deceiving.
Why don't you get changed now? There's a space in the back to give you some privacy.
I nod and take the clothes from her. Once I've ensured privacy, I quickly get changed. Luckily, these clothes have pockets, and I can just transfer everything over. I palm my wallet, deck of cards, and loose change. Next is my phone. I try to turn it on just to see if it'll work, but it doesn't react. The battery must be dead. I get the feeling they don't have wall chargers here. Shrugging it off, I slip my phone into my pocket too. When I emerge, Leanna gives me a once-over. How do I look? She grins and nods in satisfaction.
Wow, look at you, just like a native. This look suits you.
Daw, thank you. I match her grin. Thanks.
Let's go find the inn now.
She heads out of the shop and I follow her. Actually, maybe we could stop by the armory? She pauses and looks curiously at me.
Armory? You want to get a weapon?
Her question is carefully cautious. The goal is to blend in, right? It's weird that a person wearing leather armor is traveling unarmed. I look like a hostage or something.
You do have a point. Plus, it could come in handy.
Why do I not like the sound of that?
Do you know how to use a weapon?
Again, although her voice holds no hostility, I can sense her caution. I practice kendo competitively. She blinks. It's a type of sword fighting where I come from.
I see.
Leanna falls silent as she gazes out into the street. After an extended pause, she nods. I'm going to try to keep these videos short, around like 20 minutes or so. I'm positive I'm already over 20, but I'll probably end whenever we get to the end. We head to the forge where rows of blades ranging from long swords to short daggers hang from the wall. All the blades look fairly plain, but the steel edges glint dangerously amidst the warm glow of the forge. Unlike the previous shopkeeper, the metalsmith ignores us as he pounds out a red-hot blade. Sparks jump from the clanging metal, reminding me of fireflies. Leanna lets me browse the swords. I reach for one that catches my eyes. As I gently remove it from the shelf, I miscalculate its weight and drop it. The steel scratches the ground with a sharp screech. The metalsmith pauses in his work to glower, warning. Leanna looks on in shock.
Careful!
My bad, my bad. I quickly right the sword back up and grip it tightly. Leanna now watches me with intrigue.
Is this the first time you've held a sword?
Please, I've held a sword before. I lift, bro. It was just a minor miscalculation. I got it. Shaking my head, I take a practice swing with the sword, and it glides gracefully in the air. Leanna looks impressed.
Was that a move from your kendo?
Totally. I nod.
Not bad.
I swing again, and the movement flows naturally. As the sword cuts through the air with a sharp swing, I can help but admire how smoothly it slices. This is high quality craftsmanship. Let's go with this one. As before, Leanna discusses with the shopkeeper. When she returns, I strap the sword to my belt. We make one more stop to gather supplies for our travel. By the time we're finished, the sun has set and darkness blankets the sky. The town is aglow with soft lights glint from within the houses and the lampposts on the streets. As we pass by a lamppost, I peek inside and see a small crystal shining brilliantly. Using the lights to guide us, we find the inn. I take a seat at one of the crude tables with Leanna, while Leanna talks to the innkeeper behind the bar. There are a scattering of other patrons, mostly men who sit alone, nursing a tankard of what I assume is to be ale. I stifle a yawn. Now that I've had a chance to sit down, I feel the full weight of my fatigue. I need more exercise. Luckily, Leanna returns and hands me a key.
This is your room for the night. It's right next to mine.
Why can't we just share? Just kidding. Thanks. She nods.
They should be coming out with our dinner soon. Then we should get to sleep. We have an early start tomorrow.
My stomach grumbles in anticipation. Sorry. Leanna smiles as she sits in the empty stool next to mine. Sorry, I have to sneeze like really bad. Leanna smiles as she sits in the empty stool next to mine. Our meals arrive, and I stare at the bowl before me. It's a goopy, thick stew, and looks about as appetizing as dog food. But it smells pretty good. What is this?
It's stew.
Mm-hmm. I gathered that. What kind of stew?
Rabbit.
Yum. A brief image of a cute, fluffy bunny flashes across my eyes.
Is something wrong?
Meat is murder. I only eat non-GMO, all-natural vegan, certified gluten-free, 100% whole grains, no trans fat, grass-fed, no preservatives, organic, pasture meals. Nope, all good. I'm all about trying new foods. Nothing's wrong. This is fine, thanks. I take a tentative bite of my stew.
How is it?
This is even better than I expected. Leanna grins as she digs in. I finish eating and Leanna cleans her bowl. Then the two of us head upstairs. She pauses in front of her room and I stop in front of mine. Good night.
Good night.
I'm about to enter my room when I hear a small voice.
Poi?
Looking down, I see the Pongo back at my feet. Now that I think about it, ever since we entered the village, he's been awfully silent. Have you been following us this whole time, or did you lose us and find us again? The Pongo blinks twice and bounces.
Poi.
I'm going with the first option.
Pongos aren't exactly welcomed everywhere.
Why is that?
Well, they absorb the energy around them, including crystals which are used to light lampposts, or other similar items.
Ah, I can see how that would be bad.
I think this guy knew to stay out of sight once we came in here.
What if someone sees him here?
As long as he doesn't stray too close to a crystal, he'll be fine. People only make a fuss when it looks like their crystal might be drained.
Got it. She reaches toward the Pongo.
Do you want to sleep with me tonight?
Deal. Oh, you was talking to him, my bad.
Poi?
The Pongo snuggles against my leg. Leanna sighs.
I thought as much.
She opens her door and flashes me one last smile.
Sleep well.
I'll try. She disappears into her room. I open my door and step through. The Pongo perks up.
Poi.
No. Sure, you can come in. I step away from the door and the Pongo hops in. As I close the door behind him, he continues to hop around the room as if inspecting it. Yawning widely, I collapse onto the bed. The Pongo continues to circle the room. Are you looking for a good place to sleep?
Poi.
Take that as a yes. He suddenly leaps up and lands on my bed. Then he bounces to the foot of the bed and wiggles himself a cozy nest by creating a small crater on the top of the blanket. About what my dog does. I can't help but grin at the little guy. Good night, Pongo.
Poi.
I roll over in bed, and it's not long before I'm fast asleep. I am going to end it here. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.